The Curious Case of the Missing Manuscript. Chapter 1. The Arrival. It was a foggy morning in the quaint town of Dunbridge when Claire Adams, an aspiring writer, arrived at the old cottage she had rented for the summer. The cottage, nestled on the outskirts of the town, was surrounded by dense woods and a serene lake, perfect for finding inspiration for her new novel. Claire had heard rumors about the cottage's history, but she was more intrigued than frightened. She believed that a place with such a rich past would surely fuel her creativity. As she unpacked her bags, she discovered an old, leather-bound book in the drawer of her bedside table. It was a diary, judging by its appearance. Claire's curiosity got the better of her, and she opened it. The diary belonged to a woman named Emily Whittaker, who had lived in the cottage over a century ago. Emily was a writer too, and the diary detailed her journey in writing a novel, along with mysterious entries about a missing manuscript. Chapter 2. The Diary. Claire spent the next few days engrossed in Emily's diary. Emily wrote about a manuscript she had been working on for years. It was her magnum opus, a story of love, betrayal, and redemption. But just as she was about to finish it, the manuscript vanished. Emily was devastated and suspected foul play. Her last entry was particularly ominous, mentioning strange noises at night and shadows lurking in the woods. Determined to uncover the truth, Claire decided to investigate. She started with the attic, a dusty, cluttered space filled with old furniture and forgotten belongings. After hours of searching, she found a hidden compartment in an old trunk. Inside was a bundle of letters, all addressed to Emily from a man named Thomas. The letters spoke of their love and his promise to return to her with something precious. Chapter 3. The Investigation. Claire's curiosity deepened. Who was Thomas, and what was he bringing back to Emily? She decided to visit the local library to see if she could find any records about Emily and Thomas. The librarian, Mrs. Thompson, was a wealth of information. She remembered stories from her grandmother about Emily Whittaker and her tragic love affair with Thomas, a sailor who never returned from his voyage. Mrs. Thompson also mentioned that the old Whittaker family estate, now abandoned, was not far from the cottage. It was said to be haunted, and no one had set foot there in decades. Claire's heart raced with excitement and fear. She felt like she was living in one of her own novels. Chapter 4. The Estate. The next morning, Claire set out for the Whittaker estate. The mansion was in ruins, covered in ivy and surrounded by overgrown gardens. As she explored the crumbling rooms, she found an old study with a massive oak desk. Inside the desk drawer, she discovered a key and a faded map of the estate. The map led her to a hidden cellar beneath the mansion. With trembling hands, Claire unlocked the cellar door. The air inside was damp and musty. She descended the creaky stairs and found herself in a small, dimly lit room. In the center of the room was a wooden chest. Claire opened it with the key, and there, wrapped in a worn cloth, was Emily's missing manuscript. Chapter 5. The Revelation. Claire was overjoyed. She had solved the mystery that had haunted Emily for over a century. As she read through the manuscript, she realized it was a masterpiece, filled with the same passion and emotion that Emily had poured into her diary. But there was more. At the end of the manuscript was a letter addressed to the finder. In the letter, Emily thanked whoever found her manuscript and asked them to share her story with the world. She wrote about her love for Thomas, who had hidden the manuscript to protect it during a time of turmoil. He never returned, and Emily spent the rest of her days waiting for him, never knowing what happened. Chapter 6. The Legacy. Claire felt a deep connection to Emily and her story. She decided to honor Emily's wish and publish the manuscript. The novel, titled The Whispers of Dunbridge, became an instant success, captivating readers with its poignant tale of love and loss. As Claire stood by the lake one evening, watching the sun set over the water, she felt a sense of peace. She had not only found the inspiration she was looking for, but had also brought closure to a story that had been lost in time. Emily's legacy lived on, and Claire knew that she had played a part in preserving it. Epilogue. Years later, Claire became a renowned author, known for her ability to weave mystery and romance into her stories. She often returned to the cottage in Dunbridge, where it all began, and continued to find inspiration in its tranquil surroundings. And so, the curious case of the missing manuscript became a tale told and retold, a reminder of the enduring power of love and the importance of never giving up on one's dreams.